All right, I think we're live now. I'll give it a minute for more people to roll in, but as we're starting this live, I just recorded. So I've had a lot of members join the channel and Patreon, or patrons join Patreon. And as promised, I told you that I was going to upload my disabilities and the evidence that I use for those disabilities. So that's what I'm working on as we're doing this stream. So as I work on that, waiting on people to join the stream. Come on in, ask me your VA disability questions. Y'all know the drill. Ask me your VA questions and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Give some recommendations and we can kind of go from there. That's about it. Ain't nothing else to it, really. Ain't nothing else to it. And I need to get my SD card. It's right here. All right. Drop your questions. And if you can hear Miss Rachel in the background, we're big Miss Rachel fans in this house. It's because she's on over there. Palos Rivera says, had to unsubscribe and resubscribe to finally get the alerts for the live Q&A. Hey, well, sorry to hear that, man. You know, I hope YouTube fixes that. But welcome to the live. Definitely appreciate it. Now that you did get the alert, ask away. Zachary says, keep up the great work, man. I was just awarded 100% PNT. Thanks for the videos. Dude, congrats to you. Seriously. Anytime I see someone say that, and I was a part of that process, it really does make my day. So I definitely appreciate you sharing that. Thank you. How long does it typically take for supplemental claim to be decided? Christy Bowl, there isn't a single person on this planet. There isn't a single person on this planet that can answer that question for you or any timeline questions, okay? Generally speaking, 6 months. All right, Star Fury says, good afternoon, sir. What's up? What do you think about a monthly stipend for veterans? How do you mean? You mean like the GI Bill semester stipend? You mean the Chapter 35 stipend for dependents? Or the monthly stipend, I guess, would be the VA disability compensation that we receive. So I don't know what that's in reference to. It sounds interesting. Okay. But I would definitely like to know more context on that one. Metal Mike Clay, happy Wednesday. I like that. I was just denied my lumbar back, lower spine. Looked at my denial and it was due to no Nexus. Just got my Nexus from a private doctor. Who can I have take a look and see if it's good? You can I would redact your information, okay? You can post it on our Facebook group, and there are other Facebook groups as well. Redact the information, post anonymously. That part's key, and then we can give you some advice on the Nexus. USMC Big B says, Clay, thank you, Big B, appreciate it. Longtime fan, day one. Big B has been a day one. It's very clear you care about veterans. Thank you, appreciate that. I really do. I really do. You know, I am anti-claims consulting company. It's just my personal belief, but I do. All right. Mike Hofford, thanks for all the great information you put out. I had a CMP today for lower back, and it took 15 minutes from start to finish. Is that normal? I don't want to say it's normal. It's not uncommon, okay? And so looking at range of motion, based on your range of motion, what that looks like, if there's pain with full range of motion, so I have pain with full range of motion, which is 10%, okay? So it really just depends. It's not a, there's not a cookie cutter answer for that at all. Let me just cut this. As I'm answering questions, I'm about to post this video for members only that goes over my disabilities and the evidence that I use for each of those. Thank you for your service. So let me just get this kind of down and dirty. All right, that's good enough for right now. Okay, how do I file for sleep apnea and I have PTSD? I assume you mean sleep apnea secondary to PTSD, and you would just file a secondary claim. I have a tutorial, a how-to tutorial on how to file a secondary online by yourself, right? Of course, I always recommend using a VSO or any other accredited rep for that. But it's a difficult claim, right? But sure, you can submit it. Christy Bowl says I'm going on 6 months and they have been in decision phase for 5 months. No one can answer timeline questions. I hate that's the answer, but it is. No one, not a single person on this planet can give you an accurate timeline. I'm drinking chocolate milk, by the way. I love chocolate milk. Okay. Less likely than not, good or bad. That is bad. Okay. No, I won't say bad. It means not service connected. The CMP examiner is not recommending service connection. So it's less likely than not this, this current diagnosis is less likely than not connected to military service. Adam Oldham says, retiring in about a year, what should my main focus be as it pertains to VA active duty? Yeah, I have a whole video on this, Adam. Listen up. Listen very clearly, okay? I'm actually going to show you. I hope you can see it on my phone here. But CivDivOnline.com, okay? Here it is, right here. CivDivOnline.com. In the top left, you're going to click BDDs. And here's a 4-step process. The first thing is do not overcomplicate. And then there's that video called Master Condition List. You want to absolutely watch that, okay? Read the 4 steps. Don't overcomplicate it. It's not that hard. BDD claims are super easy. But the Master Condition List will frame what the heck is actually wrong with you and make sure you claim everything you are entitled to out the gate, instead of being like, ooh, I wish I thought of that. Ooh, I wish I thought of this, so on and so forth. All right, Antoine Smith says, what is the VA doing with the new plan for PTSD? I just posted a video on that, Antoine, about an hour ago, actually, I think. Check that out, right? It's specifically in regards to increases, but I assume that's why you're asking. So you absolutely want to watch that. I just posted it. I'll tell you when I posted it. It was 1 hour ago, right? Mental health changes and your CMP exam for VA disability claim increase. Go check it out. It tells you everything you need. All right. What up, Clay? I left another live to join yours. Nice. Who's live? Who's live right now? That I is someone else? Is there another disability YouTuber live right now? I don't know. That's a genuine question. I want to know who it is though. Okay. Seismic Soldiers. Hello, Clay. What's up? I have ratings for sleep apnea, hearing loss, and mental health. Why does the VA keep denying my secondary claim for headache? Ooh, that is that's a great question. Okay. So look at your decision letter. I'm going to assume you're currently diagnosed, right? If you're not diagnosed, that's your fault, okay? Don't submit a claim without a diagnosis. So I'm going to assume that you are diagnosed with migraines or migraine/tension headaches. If that's the case, what you're missing is the nexus. And it depends. I want to know what your competing evidence is, right? If you have any competing evidence, and if not, if you're just denied strictly based off of the nexus, meaning the CMP examiner doesn't believe that your migraines are stemming from these conditions. And so in that instance, you would need to maybe consider a medical opinion, but I would only even think about that if you have the evidence. So I need to know what your competing evidence is, right? What's competing evidence? I'll give you an example. I like to use this scenario, right? Let's say you left the service 5 years ago, and then, last month you're a construction worker, you fell off the ladder and you got a TBI. If you try and claim migraine secondary to PTSD from service, the VA is going to say, probably not. It probably came from this incident that happened a month ago, right? That would be competing evidence. Now, that's pretty blatant. competing evidence. It's not always that clear, but that's what competing evidence is. Oh, Hill and Pod. Hey, the lawyer channels are, I have nothing bad to say about them at all. They're great. They're great. And I wish more accredited reps would create YouTube channels and, Instagram and TikTok and all that other stuff. Plus, it's free marketing. Why would you not want to do that? But, okay. Cool beans. Nothing bad to say about them at all. All right. Metal Mike says, also, I'm going to appeal supplemental claim for my lower lumbar. Do I need to resubmit all my documents from my initial claim? Should I highlight key info from my private doctor notes? You need to submit new and relevant evidence. So you actually, if you submitted the evidence that the VA already reviewed, it doesn't mean anything. You have to submit new and relevant evidence for the supplemental claim to even go through the process. Okay? Now, you asked about your private doctor's notes, which is good if the VA didn't have those private doctor notes, okay? So answer that question. What does the VA have? What does the VA not have? And then if the answer is they don't have this, is that new and relevant evidence? Relevant meaning it combats the reason for denial. Jane Thompson says, if I had a head-on collision and is documented in my service treatment records, but I don't remember much of the accident, is it okay to state that in my personal statement, or how should I go about that? You can absolutely create a personal statement for that. The VA is going to see that, okay? Now, I'm assuming you had a head-on collision. It's in your service treatment records because you went to medical, and that's really the evidence that they're going to view. It's not really the accident itself. It's the evidence of the hospital visit after the accident, whatever happened, okay? CH says, Clay, have you heard of this database? What is the Joint Longitudinal Viewer? I can't say that word. Let's just say JLV. Is a clinical application that provides an integrated, read-only display of health data. No, I have not. I can't say that I have. And I don't really have the time right now to look that up, but I'll screenshot that and put it in my notes. All right, Mike Hoford, are personal statements important to filing a claim? Man, the personal statement discussion on YouTube is absolutely insane, okay? I understand why, because, people will make a video and saying statements are what's going to win your claim, and that's just not true. It's not, okay? When a statement comes in clutch is when your testimony, the statement, is supported by your medical evidence. Medical evidence first. Second is evidence other than medical. Third is your testimony, your statement, that is supported by the evidence, okay? Now, in the event of you or not having medical evidence or not having evidence other than medical, then statements get a little dicey because your self-report, there's a totem pole of medical evidence, your self-report is all the way at the bottom. I'm not saying the VA doesn't care about it, okay? It's just not weighted the same as medical evidence or evidence other than medical. Now, I do believe, this is my personal belief, I do believe when it comes to the board, statements are weighted a little heavier, okay, than initial claims. That's my personal opinion. I can't really say that with data. But, yeah, man, to answer your question, are personal statements important to file a claim? My answer would be it depends. For migraines, absolutely. For mental health, I would say lay statements are important, right? Because a lot of the mental health symptoms, at least with the criteria as it is right now, deal with a lot of social and family stuff. So the answer is it depends, right? David Pagan says, my intent to file is going to lapse before I get to meet with Del K. Graham. What would you suggest? File on my own? I would absolutely file on your own if your intent to file is about to expire. Because you can at least preserve that intent to file date with appeals. Now, that's not the best answer I can give you for that. All right, it kind of sucks. My recommendation would be to reach out to Del K. Graham, let them know what's going on, and see if you can't be bumped up in the process with that. I'm no longer affiliated with Del K. Graham. That is CEO change, and then I've really put more effort into my own channel, and so my own personal decisions, kind of severed the relationship with Del K. Graham. But they're still an amazing accredited VSO, which I'm a huge fan of. All right. If you like the answers I'm giving, if you think this is good information, do me a favor, hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. I would love you forever. All right. Metal Mike says, I'm only asking on the highlight as I submitted everything the initial time and I had complaints while in service, but I feel they might have missed something, so I was wondering if you recommend highlight. I would have to look at the decision letter, right? If it says that you have in-service complaints or something of that, the in-service event, medical complaints in service, in-service complaints, whatever that looks like, you're fine, right? The in-service events are checked off. It depends why you were denied in the first place. Is it the in-service event? If so, then yes, that matters. My wife texted me. Let me open this text real quick and I'll be right back. Okay. CH. My VA cardiologist checked it and found that I have a nephew that suffered sudden death playing college basketball, which is not true. I have no idea what that comment's in reference to unless I skipped one. CH? Not sure. Antoine Smith, what are the changes for PTSD? Brother, I uploaded a video about an hour ago on this subject specifically, and I show you the changes for mental health. Plain as day, right? Synopsis, there's 5 domains, 4 levels. Depending on what level you rate for each domain will determine what rating you're going to receive, right? And that is covered in that video that I just uploaded an hour ago, so check it out. All right, Sean Key, so for time gap and out of service initial filers, is there a certain amount of times I need to be seen for the issue to build my medical history for my claims? No, Sean, okay? And I'm going to tell you, what I'm going to say is going to piss you off. I'm just letting you know that right now, okay? I'm going to be real with you. For every claim, you have to have the big 3. If you don't have it, you're denied, okay? I understand that people don't preach the big 3 because they want views and they want all this stuff, which I totally understand, right? I'm also a YouTuber, but I'm going to give you the real answer here. You have to have the big 3. So any evidence you get now is good. It will certainly help, but that's only going to cover the current diagnosis and the chronic diagnosis, right? And the current symptoms, which is one of the big 3. So you need the current diagnosis, and this is out of order. The current diagnosis, right, has to be chronic and continuous. 2 is the in-service event. So it doesn't matter how long you've been out of service for. What is your evidence from service that has led to this condition? Okay, if you don't have any, I'm telling you right now, you are on an uphill battle, and it's going to be difficult. Okay, now does that mean you can't be service connected? No, of course not. It just means you need to think about submitting an evidence-based claim, especially in your case. So looking at your evidence from service, whether that's medical or evidence other than medical, I would look at statements, look at lay statements, any evidence you could possibly produce from service that would indicate you had that condition or that condition stemmed from your time in service, okay, known as the in-service event. With those 2 things, submit the claim. To answer your question, how many times you have to be seen to build your medical evidence, that's not a question you should be asking, okay? It's either you have the diagnosis or you don't. Once you have the diagnosis, you submit the claim. Okay, Darren Hilsebeck. With the upcoming changes, are they going to downgrade those who have sleep apnea rating or just with new claims? They're not going to downgrade anyone, okay? And if you submit a sleep apnea claim after the proposed changes are finalized, it will be based off the current, which would be the new rating schedule, okay? Yeah, Adam Oldham says, thanks. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. I love your channel. I love you. All right. Okay, I found a page in my SRB that was completely blacked out. Could this be something that they redacted? I was sexually assaulted in service. Could this be what's on that page? Christy, there is, I have no idea, okay? I don't think that's something that would be redacted, and if that is the case, I think you have a lawsuit in your hands, but that is completely, you know, over my head and outside of my wheelhouse. John Peters says, Clay, I'm 20% connected for an ankle injury, which resulted in a fall. Can I claim lumbar injury as secondary? You can, okay, but it's difficult. So claiming musculoskeletal conditions to other musculoskeletal conditions is not easy peasy, okay? I understand people will say that you can, which is true, but it's difficult. You need to understand that. So my question to you is, what evidence do you have specific to you, right? It's not a one-size-fits-all. What evidence do you have that shows that your ankle is causing your lumbar spine injury? That's critical. If you do not have that, I'm going to say it's going to be denied, okay? Unless you have evidence indicating your lumbar spine stems from your ankle. All right, Hill and Pond is live right now. Hey, awesome. I have 0 complaints to the accredited reps on YouTube at all. 0. If anything, they would complain about me. So, good job. Okay. William Wells Sr. My question is, I was service connected for GERD and now diagnosed with Barrett's esophagus and a hiatal hernia. Will they rate those together or rate them separately? Together. Okay. Together until the changes, which I still think they would be roped together, but those share the same rating. Those share the same rating. Seymour, I am a federal employee for the Department of the Army, and I applied to be a claims agent, but you are unable to be a federal employee and a claims agent, accredited rep at the same time. So therefore, I was denied. Right now, if my career path ever changes and I go back to government contracting, or I just quit my current position with the Army, I will reapply. But till then, YouTube is what you get. Okay, Justin Sanchez says, can I claim secondaries from side effects of medications? You absolutely can. If so, how soon after can I claim those? Once you're currently diagnosed. Once you're diagnosed with whatever condition it is, okay, that stems from your medication, you can submit the claim, right? I would say the opposite also applies. I would not recommend to submit the claim without the diagnosis. Now, if you're talking about with the exception of ED secondary to mental health medications, that one's easy peasy. All right, Soul Moon's Rising just got 1 of 5 claims back in awarded service connection and 10% for bilateral plantar fasciitis. 4 more to go, 3 were deferred, and 1 says continued. All right. Back was continued, says there was improvement, which is not true. Talk to my VSO, and we might have to fight for a new exam. I would be curious as to the evidence they use to show the improvement. So here's the thing, okay? Examiners can't just say there was improvement. There has to be something that shows improvement, whether that is evidence that you have from private or VA healthcare or during the examiner's exam, okay? And that would be listed on the DBQ. This is why we always submit evidence-based claims, because if you don't, you're at the mercy of the C&P examiner's evaluation. And so if you have evidence that shows you have not improved, you're good to go. If you don't have evidence, then the C&P examiner's evaluation becomes the gospel, okay? CH says, Clay, how does a I assume you mean VSR? How does a VER if your medical records contain errors? I don't know what you're saying. Jerry Duhan says, Jerry D, what up? JD, what can I claim secondary to PTSD? I'm going to go to my secondary So I have a video on secondaries. You can look it up somewhere on my channel. Okay. Within that video, there is a Google Doc. I'm going to show you what it looks like right now, and this link to the video. You can pull it up on your own, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. You go to that video, you'll find a link to a list that looks something like that, and it says secondary. So here's ankles. Let's go to PTSD, mental health right here, and I'll list some secondaries, okay? So secondary claims to mental health, broadly speaking. Sleep apnea, GERD, IBS. IBS can also be presumptive. GERD and IBS share the same rating. Hypertension, migraines, ED, FSAD for the females. Asthma, coronary artery disease, chronic fatigue syndrome, diabetes, obesity, alcohol use disorder, and bruxism, which bruxism is usually roped under mental health anyways. So there you go. There's your list. You should definitely check that out so you can look at that list for yourself. Michael Vickers says, I'm in the Guard and injured my back earlier in my career. I have it documented with my civilian doctor. What is the possibility of getting it service connected way later in my career? I would go ahead and start gathering your evidence and submit that claim now. Okay? What's the possibility look like? I want to know the time frames between your service and your civilian doctor giving you the diagnosis. That's one. Two, what happened in service that led to this back condition? Okay? Being in service isn't going to cut it. There has to be something. Something happened, something caused it, something led to it. Now, there are a few diagnoses that can manifest itself during service, right? But lumbar spine injury is not one of them. First donation of the stream. Thank you very much, David Dottie. Says, since I haven't seen anyone else give a sticker, here you go, Clay. Thanks for all the info. David, thank you very much. I definitely appreciate that. Seriously, I do. I love it. Thank you. My family does appreciate it. My kids appreciate it. I can tell you that much. I'm looking for any member chats. I don't see any member chats. So we are still in the clear here. Okay. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. Soul Moon. Okay. Cinco Blue says, on another note, I was recently granted a remand from the BVA, the board, that dated back to 2015. This essentially took me from 10% to 100%. So I waited 19 years as a separation to file initially. Okay. Emery Fishing, if you have a question, just ask it. Jose Villa says, I already have my mental health CMP exam. Today is my CMP for increase for my right knee. For your right knee and chronic diarrhea due to medication and migraines as well. What should I expect, Clay? Thanks for what you... Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's break this down one by one. Let's start with the right knee. Range of motion, easy peasy, okay? Let's say this is your leg. This right here is your knee. You're going to sit down and without weighted, they're going to ask you to flex and extend your knee, right? There you go. And then when that's done, this is the floor. They're going to ask you to stand up, put some weight on it, and do the same thing. So they're also looking at flexion and extension and instability within your knee, okay? So it'll be a range of motion test, just like every other range of motion test. Looking at chronic diarrhea, it'll be, they'll review your records for all of these, specifically for diarrhea, right? IBS, hyoidal hernia, whatever that looks like for you. And really what they're looking for are cramps in your abdomen section, okay? If you get abdominal cramps, and the relationship between diarrhea and constipation. What does that relationship look like? Now, generally speaking, you are going to want a treatment plan or a diagnosis when you're going the diarrhea route. This is called IBS. That would certainly help. Let me block some people here. Okay. Lisa Charles says, what can you claim secondary to hypertension? Anxiety, right? So kidney conditions, mental health, sleep apnea, heart conditions, liver conditions, diabetes, obesity, stroke, and other heart conditions. I think I have heart conditions on there twice. Again, look at the secondary video. You'll find a link to this list right here. And here it is, hypertension, secondaries. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bam. That's where you'll find it at. All right? Check it out. Check out the list. You're going to want to, if you're looking at secondaries, you're going to want to see that list. So look up secondaries on my channel. I'm sure you'll find it. It'll be there. Thank you, brother. 0311. Jose Villa, that's what I'm talking about, right? I got my douchebag 0341 tag there. All right, Dan Smith. Can you use an MRI as a diagnosis if the VA healthcare will not give a specific diagnosis? MRI shows DDD. Of course, and I'm sure you have the diagnosis somewhere in your records, whether that's an SCT code, which is a treatment, it's a VA's version of like a treatment plan code, and then ICD is the International Classification of Diseases. But if you have the MRI that shows DDD, you have the diagnosis. Mike Moore with a $5 donation. Thank you very much, brother. I definitely appreciate that. What video is that? Okay, I see Matt Richardson. I see your member chat. Let me look at this video real quick. And I can't put links in the chat, which is really annoying for the shorts, like the short live form thing we're doing. But I will I'll type out the title verbatim so that way you can just search it up. You can search it, and I have a ton of videos. Let me just see if I can find it. This is why I need to put this on the website. Where could it be? Where could it be? Where could it be? Well, hot dog, maybe it is on the website. That's something I would do. All right, let me check this website. Hold on. We have to look at the secondary video. It's extremely important that people understand the secondary video, okay? Templates. Boom, okay. Here's the easiest place to find it. Go to CivDiv. CivDivOnline.com. Go to templates, okay? And then you will find the video at the bottom, right here, common secondary conditions. Boom, there it is. Actual secondary claim list for VA disability. That's what it's called. Actual secondary claim list for VA disability. I understand that using my phone like that's not the most conducive, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You feel me? Okay. Killian, thank you very much. I appreciate that, brother. Mike Moore, thank you very much. I definitely appreciate that. Especially you. So Killian is also a member and a patron, okay? And of course with the donation, dude, thank you so much. Seriously. I have a video dropping today for members and patrons only that's going to look at my disabilities and the evidence that I used for those. And so that's kind of my way to give back to the members because you don't get anything as a member, okay? I feel bad about that, so I'm trying to do something. All right. Matt Richardson, thank you for being a member. I appreciate that. Says, submitted detailed medical opinion for supplemental mental health and migraines. Am I going to have 2 new CMP exams or will the IMO be sufficient? You're probably going to have 2 new CMP exams, just to be real with you, especially if you don't have a DBQ submitted with that medical opinion, right? But even if you did, it's very likely that you're going to have what the fuck? Dude, the people that I got them. The people that man, okay. Wild, dude. Absolutely wild. David Pagan, thank you for being a member. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. That video for the members only about my disabilities will drop today, right after this stream. Actually, I'm editing it. That's the video right there. In Premiere Pro, there it is. All I gotta do, make some choppy edits, you know. It's for members, so it's not gonna be like a super cool edited video. I'm not really a big editor anyways. But thank you. I definitely appreciate that. Okay, I'm gonna have to block this dude. Hide user on this channel. Psh. We got him. We got him. Okay. The people that join, like of all streams to join, he wants to join mine. Put user in timeout for a whole day. Okay, sorry. Let's get back to answering some questions. Okay. Let's look at where are we at? Where are we at? I'm sorry, I kind of got backed up here. Okay. F0 Buff Nipple. I love that name every time I see it, man. Thank you. Thank you for existing. Okay. Happy Wednesday, Clay. Same to you. Hump day. Thanks for what you do. Got a phone medical records review soon before my CMP. F0 Buff Nipple year. Yeah. Yeah, man. LG, what's up? I will get back to you, LG, on our conversation. Clarence Joseph says, can we upload the 10207 form after filling it out? You absolutely can. Frank White, hey Clay, what up? I have a DBQ from my podiatrist. I have sleep apnea and insomnia. Is due to my in-service event for lower back. Should I obtain a Nexus letter or secondary to my lower back? You already have a DBQ, okay? My question to you is, what does your evidence say, right? So this is why people will purchase a medical opinion and still get denied. And this is why. Because it's like, ooh, should I do this? You know, should I go secondary this route? Should I go direct, or should I do this? And the only answer is, what does your evidence tell you to do? You don't just get to choose what you want, okay? It doesn't work like that. You have to have evidence indicating the connection, especially for secondary. So Frank, my question to you is, what does your podiatrist say? You know, what is their opinion on what your condition stem from? What does that look like? All right, Team Newbie Fitness says, I'm an MST survivor. I hate seeing this, man, but I don't understand, but I feel for you. You know, it's one of those things. Been diagnosed with anxiety and PTSD, as well as prescribed meds for schizophrenia. Had 2 CMP exams, just waiting now. I'm wishing you the absolute best, okay? Wishing you the absolute best. All right. Hi, I'm currently in the process of doing my BDD claim, and my last CMP exam was a psychologist who diagnosed me with general anxiety disorder. All right, so you have the you have the diagnosis. You're in a BDD claim. You're probably going to be service connected. I wouldn't sweat that at all, man. Okay. Michael Vickers, thank you for the donation. I definitely appreciate that. He says, where's it at? There it goes. I'm still in the guard. My back injury happened about 10 years ago while on orders, but didn't go to medical. Getting seen at VA right now. Got x-rays and MRI. Possible to get it connected. It is possible, okay? Michael, looking at, okay, it was 10 years ago. I would absolutely start gathering any evidence, even if it's a lay statement from someone you served with, that saw the back injury, that saw the incident that led to the back injury, okay? Anything that can point towards your back injury came from your time in the guard. I'll tell you straight up, and I think you commented this on that video if I remember right, but guard and reserves, bar none, the guard and reserves have the hardest time with VA disability. And this is exactly why, right? Because of the lack of evidence. Service members in general have a lack of medical evidence. That's particularly true with guard and reserve members. So my advice to you, Michael, is to really think about gathering all the evidence, even if it's statements, okay? And you have medical evidence from a civilian doc, if I remember your other comment correctly, I would gather that and kind of paint the picture that the injury stemmed from service, right? And I assume you have a current diagnosis. All right, thank you. I definitely appreciate that. Dirt Turkeys, what's up? Thank you for being a member. Thank you for being a moderator. I appreciate that. Okay, David Pagan says, I believe that I'm going to need the support of an independent medical opinion related to some very complicated autoimmune disease. Do you think that Dr. Patel could help? I would ask her directly, okay? I would absolutely ask her directly. If she can, she will. If she looks at your evidence and sees that the nexus isn't there, she won't make it, right? So whenever I decide a partnership with a medical provider or a DBQ or medical opinion provider, I ask one question, okay? If the veteran lacks evidence, are you going to write the IMO? And if they say no, that's good in my book, okay? Are there companies out there that will write a letter on nothing? They absolutely will. Why? Because they want your money, okay? They want your money. Evidence is key. You have to have the evidence. My daughter's over there being a butt, okay? This all makes me sick to my stomach. Any more presumptive with service records doesn't mean presumptive. Neil Conway. I'm gonna argue against that, okay? Just because I want people to understand the truth. Presumptive conditions have diddly squat to do with your in-service treatment records, right? Nothing. Your service treatment records are thrown out the window when it comes to presumptive conditions. All you need for presumptives, and I've said this a billion times, and I still haven't, I'll offer this. I'll give anyone $100, okay? $100, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, whatever you want. If you can produce a decision letter that states you are diagnosed and you meet the presumptive criteria, but you've been denied a presumptive condition. Okay, if you can do that, I'll give you $100. I know you can't, because every time someone sends me a letter, I look at it and it says they weren't diagnosed. So if you submit a claim without a diagnosis, especially for a presumptive condition, you're going to be denied, and that's all there is to it. All right, we have to submit. Come on, dude. Why? I just don't understand. Of all the channels to spam. Why would you come to my small channel? Okay, whatever. Not a big deal. David Jones, I'm 68 years old. I was National Guard from 76 to 84, in 83, and again in 84, okay? I hurt my back at 2 separate times. I have LODs and buddy statements, 2 CMP exams, now scheduled for telehealth. Yeah, I mean, you have LODs. It sounds like a solid claim, okay? I'm actually surprised you have LODs, so it's got to be a serious incident, especially if it happened back in the 80s with an LOD. So good on you. Tracy, yeah, you want to be a moderator? How do I add as moderator? Boom. There you go, Tracy. Tracy, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay? All right. Discerning Dash. Can I still get rated for back? Hurt it in car accident in 15. Got treatment was for joint in 21. My back has become worse and always in pain when driving and at the gym. If that incident happened in service, you absolutely can. My question is, after the incident, what did your treatment look like? Did you go to the hospital? Were you diagnosed with anything? Were you given x-rays? Were there any findings? What's that whole story look like during the accident and post-accident? Post meaning very, very soon after the accident. Mark Kovac says, my sleep wasn't really addressed, which is the real problem. Should I try to get another appointment for my sleep? Depends if you're talking about sleep apnea or insomnia. 2 completely different avenues there. Or other sleep disturbances. Depends. In-service event may be added with affidavit of truth, buddy letters, when medical or service evident record does not reflect. It can, okay? It can. You'll really hold on, my wife is texting me. It absolutely can, Seymour. But it's not to be relied on, okay? At all. If there's any evidence or any inclination of the opposite argument, then it's going to be a denied claim, okay? I love your YouTube channel. I love you, River Rat. I love that name too. If I ever freeze, it's because my wife is texting me. All right, Lord Timotheus says, I've got no clue who you are, but man, that's a great logo. Respect. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Happy 03 month. It is 03 month. Happy 03 month to the 03s out there. What's today? Is it the 11th? It's the 6th. Okay, it's only the 6th. Everyone relax. It's only the 6th. Okay. That's a Marine entry thing. All right. CH says, they didn't assist me with sleep disturbances while in the Army. Finally got the sleep study 20 years later. I didn't know anything about sleep apnea until 2021. That sounds like it's going to be a very difficult claim for you. All right. Thank you for the donation, Shaquille Shorter. I definitely appreciate that. Thank you very much. I have injuries that I haven't claimed, but they were in my final physical and mentioned to my PCP upon entering VA healthcare. I've been seen for all these injuries. I have continued treatment. Should I file? 1,000,000,000% you should file, right? You have them in your exit exam, which is the in-service event, okay? You do have the in-service event. What you'll need is a current diagnosis. Submit the claim. Submit the claim, absolutely. Especially if, like, you're talking within the last 5 years. All right, Mr. MJ says, I was admitted to a hospital in Texas while at AIT, but there is no mention of it in my medical records from VA or National Archives. How do I find that info? It would be in your service treatment records because you were in AIT. So it would be in your service records. All right, Frank White, that's a $10 donation. Brother, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Seriously, I really do. For everyone watching this, if you like the answers I'm giving, I would appreciate it if you hit the like button. It helps me, it helps you, it helps more veterans. All right, this Cisreal says initial claim for left knee was June of 22, claim denied, intent to file April 23, and submitted supplemental claim on October 23. Okay, hold on, we got dates here. Initial claim for left knee was June of 22, claim denied, intent to file for April 23, and submitted supplemental claim on October 2023. Claim was approved, but effective date is December 1st. Did the VA make a mistake? Your supplemental claim should have been back to, according to this comment and this comment only, it should have been April of 2023. Okay, would have been your effective date. According to this comment. I would like to see the decision letter myself. But yes, my wife texted me again, so hold on. All right, Chris Koonernen says, hey Clay, can you be rated for chronic fatigue syndrome and insomnia? Yes, you can. Insomnia would be under mental health and CFS would be its own rating. Also, what's your opinion on submitting a claim based on a PHA but not able to see a PCM? I'm gonna assume PHA is something about a health assessment, like a pre-deployment or post-deployment health assessment. Okay, but not able to see a PCM, like a primary care. I mean, you need a current diagnosis. You need a current diagnosis. Okay. Now, if you're active duty, it sounds like this comment came from someone who's active duty. Don't worry about it. Submit the claim. Hold on. You okay? All right. Y'all get to see one of 4 today. She's gonna chill with me. Let's answer some questions. You want to answer some questions? You want the remote? Here. Okay. Welcome. How long should a supplemental claim take for TBI? Christopher Walters, there isn't a single person on this planet that can answer a timeline decision at all. Okay, timeline question, no one. So the answer is 6 months. Okay. Ty Rod says, I had surgery that removed a small piece of my lung related to the burn pit, which I had all the records to prove. I got rated 0% because my breathing is good. Yeah, the VA is going to rate current symptoms. Okay, it's not based on what happened or the diagnosis itself. It's based on current symptoms. Okay, so healthcare-wise, that's good. M&M daughter, I'll take that. Okay, all right. Okay. Antoine Smith, what about mess from PTSD? I don't even know what you're talking about. Do you have a network connection for the IDES process? I do not, okay? IDES is talking about medical boards and going through or submitting what's called an IDES claim, IDES for VA disability. All of that coordination is supposed to be done through your Peblo, all right? Bob Sandoval says, I have been diagnosed with GAD by my VA mental health provider. Can I claim this as secondary condition to my rated tinnitus? Yeah, so let's talk about tinnitus, right? This is really gonna piss people off, so I'm all for saying it. And this is really what drove the change for tinnitus, is the current medical community consensus on tinnitus. Tinnitus is an underlying, according to not according to me, according to people that are way smarter than me, tinnitus is an underlying symptom of another condition. That could very well be mental health, okay? Could be migraines, could be vestibular disorder, vertigo, things like that. So I guess to answer your question short, yes, you can claim anxiety to that. All right, Dimitri Peterson. Why does he have a check mark? Is he famous or something? Let me look at Dimitri. Anyways, Dimitri's question says, love the shirt, how do I get one? If you want a shirt, email me. I do them individually, okay? I don't do drop shipping. These are good quality shirts. Something I've learned in my years is good, pay for good clothing because it's worth it. But I want to look this person up. Hold on, give me a second. Whoa. Yeah, he has a lot of subs on YouTube. Okay, awesome. So to answer your question, how do you get a shirt? Email me, TheCivDiv@gmail.com. Subject line is merch. And these are my shirts over there. You can see them kind of chilling. There you go. Those are my shirts. And I ship them individually. You'll get some stickers. Those are stickers right there. Okay. Mr. Mont, how do I go about obtaining a copy of the DBQ that was just uploaded to my account for my CMP exam for mental health and tinnitus? Do I need to do a FOIA request, or is there another way? That's exactly how you do it, and it's through your regional office. Or if you're working with a VSO and they have VBMS access and they have the time, they can show you your results. All right, kick save. We had a member. Thank you, Eli Riddle, for being a member. I definitely appreciate that. He says, working with the Department of the Army, do you work the Army Review Board? I don't. No. So I am a training specialist. You can look me up on LinkedIn if you want, Clayton Sims. You'll find me. I'm in training and education, so I just teach. I teach a bunch of nerdy, random things to service members. That one feared cat says, hello, what up? Welcome to the stream. Never heard of Tara, just received the 10% for hypertension with the 12 Bravo, but didn't go to war. They said it was granted to Tara. Yeah, that's toxic exposure risk activity. Okay, 10% for hypertension is a good one to have. Hypertension is usually 0. Anything above 10%, and you are likely to die. That's my synopsis version of hypertension being severely underrated by the VA. Chocolate milk. I gotta pick up this remote. She'll kill me if I don't. Are you kidding me? Okay. All right. Frank White says part 2. Okay. I was diagnosed with radiculopathy and I have an overweight sleep study and issued a CPAP. Okay. You can absolutely submit radiculopathy secondary to lumbar strain, and you can submit sleep apnea. I'm assuming secondary unless you had a sleep study in service, and that depends on what you're rated for. All right. Captain KR Los. Come on, dude, don't be touching that. Captain KR Law says if the VA wouldn't use Common Core math, most of us would be 100%. I'm gonna argue against that one. Okay, so I'm not a fan of the VA, but the VA math makes sense. Okay, it makes sense. What you have to do is take your personal feelings out of it and just look at it objectively, and then you'll understand that it makes sense. So, because it's based off of, I wish they wouldn't call it disability, because then it would just alleviate this whole problem we have. I wish they would just call it VA compensation instead of VA disability. Okay. Coach Dodson, would a person qualify for higher SMCs if veteran is 100% and already getting SMCL? Hey. No. Depends on your situation. Okay, it absolutely depends. Mike Moore says, "Hey Clay, what's up?" Snowy says, "I'm in service. What do I say at my appointment?" If you are in the military, you answer the questions and you talk about your symptoms. That's it. You submit your BDD claim. Easy peasy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. No reason to overcomplicate a BDD claim. It's the easiest thing. Greg, USMC, Simplify, says, I have a question. I just filed to claim on the VA and I have been out since 92. After the 91 Gulf War, my VA service advocates want me to collect all private doctor's notes and have them write Nexus. I have zero problems with that. Coach Dodson says, veterans had heart attack and stroke and is service connected for lack of use for all limbs, both. Okay, I don't know. I don't see the question there. Logic 1611. Okay, part 1. I'm 70% currently. I have been diagnosed with by the VA with sleep apnea and have the CPAP. My question is, what is the proper way to claim sleep apnea? How do I go about getting a Nexus for sleep apnea and getting it correct the first time around? Okay, Logic. Huge question. Thanks for the donation. I'll answer it right after this. So sleep apnea secondary is a difficult claim. It depends what you are claiming it to. Is it mental health? That's difficult. Is it tinnitus? That's really difficult. Is it sinusitis or another respiratory condition? That's difficult, but not as difficult as the other two. So it looks like correlating factors. What are your correlating factors? And that absolutely matters when it comes to sleep apnea secondary. All right, we have a donation on the channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Gat Zaraki PR. I know I absolutely butchered that one. This back and forth with VA is exhausting. Thank you for the info. 94% and don't know what else to do. If you are at 94%, feel free to shoot me an email. This goes for everyone. For one-on-ones, and what I'm gonna do is start doing one-on-ones. Like I've done 3 of them on the channel so far. As long as you share a long-form video of mine, screenshot it, send it to me in email, subject line one-on-one. I'll go ahead and start doing one-on-ones with those veterans. I would absolutely love to take a look at your case to see if we can't squeeze, or not squeeze, that's not the right word, get you properly rated, all right? We have another donation on the channel. Bob Sandoval, thank you very much. I definitely appreciate that. All right. Tyler Griffin, if you want to be a moderator, send me an email. I don't recognize your name, okay? But feel free to shoot me an email if you want to. Does it matter where we share it? You can share it wherever you want. I need to make a video on that just so I can like direct veterans to that, but I am going to start doing it more. Thanks, bro. Too bad the feds let the debt get out of hand so much that certain benefits will eventually have to be discontinued. I'd give it 5 years. I don't think so. I do not think so at all. Okay, let me go put her back in her little pen and see if she'll do good. Okay. All right. Let's answer a few more questions and then I'll probably dip out of here. What website? TheCivDivOnline.com has everything you need for VE disability. Right, it's all free. What disability do you have? If you are a member of the channel, you will figure that out because I'm going to drop that video today right after this stream. What do you think of Ryan Garcia's statements? Is it because of drugs? I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Mont says, how do I go about obtaining a copy of the DBQ? Oh, we answered this one. It's through your regional office. Corman Kine says, just subbed. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay. If you like the answers I'm giving, feel free to like the video. I would really appreciate that. Nemo with the $5 donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I have watched a couple of your videos on assessing veteran disability ratings. How would I go about doing what you do to act for other veterans? There's a few things you can do, Nemo, okay? This goes to anyone watching right now, specifically you. If you are serious about this, okay? If you're serious and you are able to articulate and make a good video, two things. One, create your own channel, do your own thing, okay? Or two, you could upload to my channel, and then there's a partnership that would go with that, and we could have that conversation if you want to do that, okay? Completely your choice. And then you would have to meet, like I set a bar internally. I have this standard I want. As long as your videos don't suck, you can post them, okay? Ad revenue comes with that. All right, I think that's probably gonna be the end of the stream, right? I have other duties to go to right now. Primal Cajun, I'll answer this one. Thank you very much. I definitely appreciate that. Okay. How do I get a copy of my pre-discharge VA exam? If you are active duty, go to your TRICARE portal. I believe it's called Genesis. Okay. Your exams will be uploaded through that portal if you're active duty, right? If you're not active duty, you're gonna have to, one, go through your VSO and they can show you, or two, go through your regional office and you can request that, right? Tracy, Derp, thank you for being a moderator. I definitely appreciate that. And Bob, I know you donated $1. I see your question. I'll answer this one and then I'll dip out, okay? Question, submitted new claim for secondary conditions from tinnitus without Nexus letter. Is that okay? It is okay, okay? It is okay. But secondary claims to tinnitus is very sketchy and are likely to be denied, especially with the new evidence that showcases tinnitus being an underlying condition of another diagnosis, right? That's not the VA saying that. That's the medical community at large saying that. VA is just kind of falling in line. Okay, so that's all I got. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for everyone who donated. Thank you to the members. Yeah, dad duties call. Last thing I do want to say is I am going to upload very, very soon to members only and patrons a video on my disabilities and the evidence that I use. And of course, I'll answer comments. I will answer every comment posted by members on that video. So if you want to see that, become a member. Right? You don't get anything extra for becoming a member outside of this one video. I feel obligated to do something for members because I don't do anything. Right? But that's all I got. Thank you very much. And I'll see you next time.